everyone, welcome to Grace's Book Nook. I'm Grace and today I'm going to be doing the Booktube Newbie tag because this is my first ever video. Alright, question number 1, why did I start this channel? I started this channel because I am obsessed with reading and I really wanted a platform to be able to share my opinions and talk about it with all of my viewers. You know that feeling when you finish a book and you have so many thoughts and questions and you just need to share them with someone else? Well, I hope this channel is going to be a place where all of my viewers and myself can share our thoughts and opinions about books after we read them. Question 2, what are some fun and unique things that I can bring to Booktube? I have a lot of interesting ideas for videos, including the traditional TBRs, recommendation, book hauls, etc. But I also have some ideas for videos that typically booktubers don't do, which will keep everything fun and interesting, I think. I also think every channel brings something to Booktube because it's always helpful to hear more people's opinions about books when you're trying to decide if you want to read them or not. Question 3, what am I most excited for about this new channel? The thing that I'm most excited for is being part of a community of like-minded book lovers. I'm also really excited to interact with all of my viewers and being able to share my thoughts and opinions with everyone else and being able to hear your opinions too. I'm also really excited to be able to meet people from all over the world who love to read just as much as I do. Question number 4. Why do I love to read? I love reading because it provides such an escape for me. You know how authors can just grab you and get you so invested in characters and what happens to them? That's just the best feeling to me. It's so entertaining, even more than movies and TV shows in my opinion. It also just makes you feel things that, I don't know, you just don't feel a lot of other ways, and it's just so fun to read, I think, obviously. I'm also a writer, so I really think that the more I read, the better my writing gets, so I can see what other authors do and their techniques and kind of show me how I can improve on myself. Question 5, what series or book got me into reading? The series that got me into reading was the Selection series by Kiera. In 6th grade, I would read it every spare second I had. A lot of girls in my grade were reading it at the same time, so we were all so obsessed with it, and it became kind of a distraction, so our teachers actually had to ban books. We were not allowed to have books near us during class or even at recess, and which didn't really help. People would still sneak books into class and stuff, but all of us just became so obsessed with reading. We often read the same kind of books because we'd hear about it from someone and we'd all just be like, oh my gosh, I want to read that now. And it really formed a community with everyone in my class, and that's why I started this channel too, is because I want that kind of community with all of you guys. Question number 6, what questions would I ask my favorite booktubers? I would ask how they fit reading into their busy schedules, especially because not only are they reading, they're also making all these videos about reading too, along with everything else that they have, like a job or school or something like that. And I really want to know how they balance it all because, I don't know, balance is very important in my life. I'd also ask how they find other books they love because sometimes after I finish a really good book, I just get so frustrated and I feel like I've already read all of the good books, which I know isn't true because there are so many good ones out there. I just have a hard time finding them sometimes, other than spending 3 hours at Barnes & Noble looking for stuff that I want to read. Also, I would like to ask how they connect with other booktubers who have a lot in common with them. I'm really interested in being more a part of this booktube community, so I really want to know how to connect with other booktubers. I'm definitely interested in doing a lot of collabs too, so I really want to start forming more relationships with other booktubers. Alright, question number 7. What challenges do I think starting a booktube channel will be the hardest to overcome? I think that time management will probably be the hardest challenge for me. I just have so many other commitments that I'm dedicated to, but I also love reading, and I feel like starting this channel, while it's a great way to express my love of reading and to share this love with other people, it also might take a little bit away from my time dedicated towards reading and doing other things. So I really want to make sure I can balance time so I can get out good quality videos for all of you every week. So I'm definitely going to have to work on that. I also think there's going to be a lot of a learning curve with editing for me. I don't really know what software to use or really how to edit even if I found a good software. So if you have any advice on that, please leave that in the comments below and I will be very appreciative of that. Okay, so question 8, when did I start reading? As I previously mentioned, I really started to read for fun in 6th grade. I read all throughout middle school, but 6th grade was probably the height of my love of reading. My freshman year of high school, I kind of had a slump. I just had so many other things going on. I felt like I didn't have a lot of time to just really invest myself in a book and just sit down and read. So I kind of didn't read too much. But then after freshman year, I went on vacation to Florida with one of my best friends who loves to read too. And we just spent hours in a bookstore down there, and it really rekindled my love of reading. And after that, I was just completely insatiable, and I just read constantly, and I've been obsessed ever since. Okay, question number 9, where do I read? I really read wherever I am. I always carry a book with me because I never know when I'm going to have a spare second to read. I'll read waiting in line at IKEA, or I'll read in the car if I'm not driving, of course. And I literally just read whenever I have time. My 2 favorite spots in my house to read are in my bed because I have the most comfortable reading pillow ever. I'll link that down below just in case you're interested. I also really love to read in a recliner that I have in my home office. It's right by a window, so I have all these views of people walking by, and just the sunlight coming in provides a really good natural light too. It just makes me feel so happy when I read, and it's so comfortable too. And if I'm feeling too distracted, I'll usually head to a local coffee shop around my area and just read there so nothing can distract me. Alright, question number 10, what kind of books do I like to read? I really like reading every single genre. I feel like a lot of people say that, but it's really true because if you just read one genre all the time, it gets really boring and predictable, so I really like to spice it up and read from every genre. That being said, I typically go for YA, just because that really fits my interest the best, and there are so many other topics in YA too, like there's literally every kind of book. There's like mystery, romance, dystopian, which is my favorite subgenre. Speaking of that, yeah, dystopian is my favorite because it usually has a lot of plot twists and high tension that just keeps me on the edge of my seat, which is something that I really enjoy in a book, and I think that's what reading should be like. They can also include other topics like romance, superpowers, monarchies, and all that kind of exciting stuff, so it's kind of the best of both worlds. Alright, moving on to the final question, number 11. What books am I currently reading or planning on reading soon? So currently I'm reading Lore by Alexandra Bracken, and I'm going to have a review up for that soon, so make sure you subscribe down below so you can be notified whenever I post that. I'm also in the middle of the Darkest Minds series. I just finished the first book called The Darkest Minds, and oh my gosh, as soon as I finished it, literally as soon as I finished it, I drove out to my local bookstore and I had to buy the rest of the series because it was such a good ending, and I just need to see how it turns out and stuff. So I'm in the middle of reading that. Very excited to finish. Recently, I also picked up This Is Our Story by Ashley Elston, which is a mystery novel, which I'm really excited to read because I haven't read mystery in a while, but I'm kind of craving a little mystery. And I also picked up Far From the Tree by Robin Benway, which I've heard is just like a really heartwarming story about biological siblings who are all adopted by different families and them coming together to try to find their birth mom. So I'm very excited to read all of those. Hopefully I'm going to have all of the previously mentioned books finished by the end of January. Also, if you have any recommendations for books I should read, please leave those down below in the comments, and I will be sure to look those up as soon as I can. Okay, so those are all of the questions that I have, but if you have anything else you want to ask me, just comment below and I will reply as soon as possible. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next Monday. Make sure you like, subscribe, and comment.